Hey everyone, how are you? It's Lisa Loring, and I am doing a live reading while Mercury is doing its oscillation over the sun, which means it's crossing the sun, and it does this 13 times in a century. And the next time it will do it, I think, is in 2032. Last time I did it, I think it was in 2016. But this is actually the last time you'll be able to see it in North America. So I hope if you're looking at it, you're doing so with the solar. And I do not have a solar filter, so I'm not going to do that. I need my eyes for a little longer. And so we're watching on NASA. NASA's got a YouTube, and we've cast it on the TV so we can watch it. So it's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, but it's about here. So it's about 3/4 of its way here on the East Coast. And that's what we've got. So I'm going to go ahead and go live on my Instagram. And let's see if I can do that. Let's see. And I just want to tell one of my friends who wants to. Oh, no. Okay, so telling my friend that she's in California. We're going live. And cool. All right, we're doing this. Awesome sauce. So, okay, let me get a place where everybody can kind of see the Instagrammers and the people in the world. Yeah, there. That's pretty good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a reading. Hi, and Sophia's here. Sophia. Yes. Sophia loves to play. She loves to play with the cards. So this will be a general zodiac reading, and I'm kind of doing this on the fly. But I really felt like I wanted to do it like this morning. And I was like, nah. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, nah. And I'm like, yeah. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I will work with I will actually work with the Gilded Tarot deck today. I do love me some shadowscapes, but we're not going to do a shadow one. Well, I guess we could in the moon, but anyway, we're not. We're going to do the very brightly colored, Gilded Tarot deck. Barbara Moore is the person who, I wonder if I actually am live. Oh, yep, there I am. There I am. I am now live. Okay, good. So we're doing this live on Instagram, and we're doing it live on YouTube. And hi, Lila, how are you? What happens when Mercury crosses the sun? Basically, it depends on where, I mean, you can think about where Mercury is in your own chart. But for me, what I think I've actually refrained from reading other like astrologers' interpretations of it. For me, what it means is because I have Mercury in my 12th house, well, kind of my 12th house, kind of my first. Anyway, in Pisces, Mercury can get a little emotional and not very clear cut. So for me, what that means is with Mercury crossing the sun, Mercury is actually being, we're actually really looking at our identity. And the sun is that identity. It's that projection of yourself that you put out in the world. And to speak with truth towards that. There's no more being, and that's been coming forward quite a bit. There's no more being anything but yourself. And so that with the sun highlighting, and that's your voice, it's your throat chakra. So, even before I started doing anything, the kyanite crystal came up for me today. This is anything referring to throat chakra. So speak your voice, put your creativity out there, that kind of stuff. Natal or current position. See where Mercury is in your natal chart, and then look at where it's transiting in your, where it's transiting currently in your chart. And then that's the place that's going to be very much highlighted by the sun. Like the sun is shining through Mercury. It's shining through your ability to communicate, to create, the kinds of things that we do out in the world, and they'll highlight the places where we should get more organized and more, really bringing the data in to help us make sense of the data that's coming in. And this is stuff that may come through, I should say, through the next several days post this Kazini. And that's what basically is. This is the Mercury conjuncting the sun, but Mercury doesn't always pass in front of the sun. And so the sun is kind of burning through Mercury right now. Hope that helps. All right. So I've got a few I've got my citrine with me, and the topaz card came up, and the Queen of Wands came up in my personal meditation today, and the gold topaz in particular, although I do have a few pieces of blue topaz, and that's just as important because the blue topaz actually speaks to the moon, and we're about to hit this full moon. That makes sense? Good. Okay, good. I hope it makes sense. And I'd love to know where that is in your chart, Lila, so that we can maybe you can flesh that out a little bit more, you know? I'm happy to provide some thoughts around that. Hello, my sweetheart, my sweet Sophia. So it was really funny. So the Queen of Wands came up in my personal meditation, and also the Six of Swords. So this Larimar stone actually refers to the moon, kind of the moon energy. Blue topaz, as opposed to the gold topaz, also speaks more towards that moon energy as well. But then that Queen of Wands came up, and oh my God, Sophia is so funny. She just totally stole my amethyst mala beads. She's so funny. But the gold topaz is all about that sun, and it is about the communication. It is we're speaking from not only that mind intelligence, which is Mercury, but we're also speaking with heart intelligence. So these are the combination, and that's what's burning through. It's our heart, our passion. It's coming through, and if it's not coming through loud and clear, it probably is coming through loud and clear, but you're just not paying attention, right? We definitely. We will not pay attention, or we'll move away from the things that frankly scare us, and this is an opportunity for the sun and the moon to shine on the things that that make perfect sense, but not logical sense, so whatever's making perfect and good sense, follow it. The logical stuff, and we do have to trust. We do have to trust. And that Six of Swords energy is all about is about trusting, is about being in faith, right? This is Six of Swords energy, is moving away from something and moving into the unknown with whatever it is that you have. And maybe you feel like you don't even have a lot anymore. But at any rate, those are the two cards that came up. I'm just doing that for Instagram people. All right, so we're going to use the Gilded Tarot today. I haven't actually worked with this deck in a while, and actually I don't even think I came on and did a reading last week, or did I? No, I did. I totally did. I did it last Monday. Time flies when you're sort of right. But we're always having fun, right? So let's ask the energy. Let's ask the tarot cards for the best way to share today's energy. Hey, girl. Hey, Gender Bender Prophet, aka Jessie. How you doing, girl? Mercury is in your 12th house in Virgo. Oh, so you have that 12th house energy floating around in your Mercury's floating around in your 12th house energy. Okay, and that's in the unconscious. It's the unknown. Mercury is definitely trying to help you. Mercury is in your placed for you personally in a way that will start to highlight your subconscious, your unconscious, and it also will inform you. And it's in Virgo, so it's a definite, and Mercury is also the ruling sign of Virgo, ruling planet of Virgo. So that's a really interesting, strong placement for you. You probably would think about doing some health and healing. Although, didn't you just get a new job, Lila? Good for you. Hey. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a card from the Gilded Tarot deck. I do love these cards. They're so bright, they're so brilliant, and they're a lot of fun. So what is the kind of energy that we have today on this day where Mercury is crossing the sun? And Gender Bender Prophet, I believe you are a Gemini, girl. I bet you are, lady. Sir, whatever you're feeling today, I love that about Gemini, and I love that about my Gender Bender lady. Gender Bender folk. All right, so what do we have here from the tarot today to help us guide us in our, okay, these three are coming out, just popping right on out. The Page of Wands comes out, so that also matches up nicely with, you're upside down. Yes, I work in healthcare. There you go. How did I know? All right, so I can feel all of what love is not, fade away. It is a spiritual death in the waking state. Yes, I am a Gemini. I do remember that about you. So we have Page of Wands coming up, and the Page of Wands is a messenger, and Mercury is the messenger planet. Mercury resonates with Archangel Gabriel and any kind of messages that are coming in. So we're getting those messages come in. Page of Wands came up in your daily pull too. Nice, nice. Page of Wands. So this is a message from the divine. This is a message from the divine as well. So let's just keep that one in mind. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is that have and have not. I like Geminis. I know Geminis are so much fun. One of the most important and dear people in my life is like a triple Gemini, I think she is. She is like so Gemini. She's everywhere. But at any rate, Five of Pentacles is the next card that came up that in this grouping. And this is the haves and have-nots cards. This is, well, this is more of the have-nots card. But if you look at it, you can be a have card. It is about looking at accepting that divine brilliance, like looking up, getting out of low vibration and pulling the head up to look at this glorious sun that's coming through what is a very beautiful window. But it is about like being willing to let down your ego enough to go ahead and accept the help that's coming in, like accept your situation, accept the reality of the situation, but to also look up and say, okay, I'm just going to take a break here and I'm going to look and appreciate what's about around me. This is definitely a card of gratitude. And it's a card of gratitude when you're might be in a space where you least want or feel able to feel grateful. That might be an energy that you're feeling today. But again, this is messages from the divine that are still coming, that are coming in. This is messages from, a church window that are coming through, which corresponds very beautifully with our Page of Wands. And then the other card that came up is the Eight of Swords. So again, these Eight of Swords energy is something about where we're in our thoughts and our mind. There's a lot of blue in this particular card. And remember, I was talking about that blue topaz. Like these are just, maybe unconscious, all the unconscious fears and whatnot that are around us that we don't really, serve us any longer. And you can just move out of this. It's just a matter of, her hands are chained up, but she can lift up her hands and take her blindfold off to look around. She doesn't need to just stay, bound up by these swords, because if she does that, she can probably just stand up, or maybe even put her hands on one of those swords, stick them a little deeper in the ground, and get the fuck up. So there we are. And then move out of the swords. It might cut a little bit and she's got to do it. You need to take a little gumption here. You've got to be willing to realize that you really aren't bound and chained. And it's just it is your imagination. It's your thoughts. It's old ways of thinking that are keeping you in this particular energy. So that came up as a grouping. And in order to see and receive what's actually being given to us, it does take being like willing to look beyond your fears, recognize that the fears are there, be like, oh yeah, okay, wait a minute. My hands are chained up. That's a real thing. But what can I do in this situation? What can I do? Because there's definitely some small moves she can start to make in order to get out of there. So I'm going to pull a couple more cards. Because those came out like kind of in a hurry and in a clump. I'm going to see if there are any cards other cards that want to come out. I should have probably looked at the bottom of the deck, but I didn't think to, so I guess not. I guess not. Sophia, you're giving yourself a really big bath now that you stole my mala beads and they're way across the room. Funny girl. All right. Tarot, what else? What other energy do we have today that we can work with on the beautiful day with Mercury crossing the sun? Gender bender, hey, Abby J. What's going on, girl? I guess not. Yeah, that's so funny. How are you feeling with this Mercury, girl? That is your ruling sign, crossing the sun. This has got to be a big ascension day for you. I love it. I love it. You've been doing so much good work. I've been watching her for about 4 years. Yeah, I would say 4 years. It was 3 years. It was going on 4. Been following my buddy out there who's now in California, following dreams, following her path, following the path to help and guide us all. It's always good to have wonderful people like Gender Bender in the world. And Abby J, who has been a very dear friend of mine for a very long time. Nice to see you, Miss Abby. Abby's a friend of my daughter. My daughter went to high school with Abby, and I got the opportunity to have her beautiful light near me for quite a few years. And Abby, I love you very much, and I'm glad you're here. Ooh, okay. Whoa, lots of love. We're we're going to just take all of those and see what just came out. Woo, Abby, lots of love. You're causing it. All right, so we got the Seven of Swords, which is an energy of maybe feeling, I always think of this as like not being secure enough in our self-worth, that we have to like be in a place of lack, which kind of echoes this Five of Pentacles. Like this is a card of like, if you're in a lack kind of energy, it is very difficult to look up and around. But again, so the Seven of Swords, is again, just our thoughts and our attitudes that are keeping us in a state of lack rather than in a state of what's actually abundance. But it's really nice that we come from this Eight of Swords that came up earlier to step down to the Seven of Swords. So in some respects, we're stepping down, but we really do have to resist the pull to step down into lower vibration is what I'm kind of reading on that one, to just be in love and truth and anchor on the love of the universe, to recognize that we don't need to be in this kind of greedy place. And we don't need, here's the other thing, you're actually in Pennsylvania again? Ooh, I'm not far from you, lady. I'm glad you're in Pennsylvania. Maybe we should be hooking up because I'm not far away from you. I'm just outside of DC. At any rate, so the Seven of Swords is, I feel like we're coming back down from this energy of the Eight of Swords. But if we go down, it's an opportunity. If you feel like you're going down in energy, it's actually an opportunity. Hi, Firmo. I will look for you. I'll pull a card for you a little later. And you too, Lila. Anybody who's joining me, I always pull a card for. But if we go down into this lower vibrational energy, that doesn't serve us. We're just going into that place of greed. But this is that opportunity with Mercury crossing to the sun to see where those things are rooted, to recognize those patterns in ourselves, which actually keep us away from abundance. So if you do recognize that this self-worthy kind of stuff is coming up for you today, I know it did for me. That's not real. That's just your imagination. You can break free of that, but the best way to do that is to anchor on the divine and the messages that are coming through that do support you. Three of Cups came up, so celebration. Three of Cups. This is Holy Trinity stuff. This is you co-creating with the divine. I did not know. My car was plucked away from me. Don't worry. We'll work it out. And there's always public transit. So at any rate, this Three of Cups energy is coming up. And this is anchoring on the divine and pulling in I just formed a study group with three of us at school. And that's going to save my bacon. And being with people of like-minded kinds of energy, anchor on the resources around you and always anchor on the divine. Make that your top one and make that your, and when I say the divine, that's going to be your own personal power, whatever makes sense for you in terms of, who your higher power is, that power that's bigger than you. And it could be the imagination of you it always should be the imagination of you in that, that most divine wisdom, that part of you, like I said, that always just knows. And if it doesn't make sense, perfect logical sense, you're being pulled toward it, but it doesn't make perfect logical sense, still go towards it. Make those small steps to take away the blindfold for even just a minute to see what might possibly be there for you. So we've got the Three of Cups, and when I love how they, they're celebrating, and it's a rainbow. This is also I'm reading the Rainbow of Promise, and abundance. And then we have the Four of Wands come up. Again, this is stability, and we are in the 11th. Today's the 11/11, November 11th, and so it is a gateway number. And I was watching David Palmer earlier, the Leo King, and he was talking about how he doesn't always buy into like the portal gateway days, like 11/11. But this is the astrology is like behind this one. We've got a full moon in Taurus, which is all about manifestation, all about foundation and solidity. And we have Mercury crossing the sun today. Again, burning through our old ideas, burning them away. We've got this full moon that's going to help us move that stuff out. If you can just be willing to take off the blindfolds, be willing to look at, no matter how hard it is, be willing to look at whatever it is that is causing the fear. And you don't have to solve the problem today. That's the part, that's the universe, but be willing to at least recognize it. And a lot of that, and do that for yourself. It's rooted in self-worth. You deserve that. You definitely deserve that. And when you start to do that, then you are really building a foundation and you're really co-creating with the universe. The final card that came up is the Four of Cups. So, that it might be a bitter pill to swallow. It might be. It might feel difficult to actually take that cup from the universe. It's looking at, but what about these other three? But keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. That's what we're being told here. And it's funny that this little rat, it actually is a rat. I don't know if you can see that in the card. Rats and mice came up in my meditation this morning. And it was all about because they're resilient as fuck. I'm going to leave that just where it is. They are resilient. No matter plague, no matter what. Rats and mice, they're resilient and they can get through things. They make small steps. And maybe people think that they're unimportant. You're not unimportant. Those rats and mice have been around for a long time. Tell me about the mice rat. It was really just about that, GBP. We're going to start calling you GBP. It was about how they're resilient, how they will stand the test of time. And no matter what, you just can't, they're going to make it no matter what. They're super duper resilient. And they're underappreciated and they're ugly and nobody wants them, right? They came to you, dreamland, not too long, dreamland, right? Yeah, and what is this guy dreaming of? What are you dreaming of? Can you actually drink that big ass cup that's on this card? Kind of like Dumbledore, drinking all of that crazy stuff to go to the higher good, go to your higher purpose. Create the foundation. So, these are just some of the messages I got. I did pull the art. Yes, I can. That's right. So, yeah, mice and rats came up it was like, well, those are interesting animals to come up for totems this morning. Totes rats. So I want to pull a card from the Archangel Gabriel deck in honor of Mercury passing the sun. And, I'm just looking at all the colors here. We have literally all the colors of the rainbow. I love the vibrancy of the Gilded Tarot deck. To see if there's any other, I feel like there's something else that wants to come forward. Keep looking at that Three of Cups. Anyway. And then there's this little squirrel. Again, there's another little, underappreciated creature, hanging out, the little squirrel up in the tree. And the birds in the sky. Notice nature. Pay attention to nature. The squirrel in the tree helps me, it shows me that, a squirrel, this is the time when we're also, don't get impatient. Don't fly off too quickly. And you will fly. The birds are in the distance. You will fly. Your dreams will take wing. But this squirrel even wants what's in that cup. The squirrel even wants what's in that cup. But a squirrel, it's at this time of year in the northern hemisphere, is definitely storing things for, or not a rainy day, but to get himself through the tough times. And the tough times, like a rat, be smart. Rats are also very smart. But the squirrel is there, and it's about storing things. Squirrels are also extremely smart, and they're like incredible acrobats. Incredible acrobats. Yes, you can. This is a very resilient card. Drink the cup. It's like in Alice in Wonderland, drink it, get bigger. Like that cup is like very disproportionately large. Drink what's in the cup. All right, I'm going to pull a card from the Archangel Gabriel deck and see what comes up, because like I said, Gabriel is the messenger angel. She most certainly is. And she delivered the coming of Christ, a coming of a whole new age of creativity, a whole new way of thinking, the herald of that time. And Mary drank the cup. Oh my God, I'm totally thinking of, oh, one of my cats wants to come in. Hold on. Come on, Pete. Come on, big boy. Come on, Eddie. Come on in. There you go. There you go, sweetheart. That's my 17-year-old. Happy National Senior Cat Month. You know, I'm thinking right now about, I went to a New Year's Day Mass, and it was all about Mary, the yes of Mary. It was actually her feast day on the Catholic Church calendar. And it was the homily that the priest gave was all about the Mary's yes. Say yes to the universe. Drink the cup. Receive, receive, receive. And it was all about that bold yes that we all know so very well. And no matter what your faith, Mother Mary is always there, and that unconditional love that she held for everyone, and her boldness. She was an extremely bold woman to do what she did. No matter how the story is told, that's a big move. That's a really big move. So let me pull something from Archangel Gabriel on this amazing day. I'm so excited. I can't even handle myself right now. I'm going to pull. Oh, we've got two cards that just slid out. Keep going. Keep going. It's the first card that came out. Use the energy of any disappointments to fuel your creative project with authentic emotion. You know, turn the tragic into magic, right? That's what that little saying is. Ready to receive Gabriel. Yep. Yep. Use the energy of any disappointment. So anything that you're having to look away from, to turn away from, in order to drink this cup, to accept of the divine, even though it might feel like disappointments, know that they only fuel your endeavors going forward, and they're extremely valuable. And perfectionism, polishing your creative project is fine, but don't allow perfectionistic fear to result in procrastination. That's the other thing. Just put your work out there. I don't sit here and do this perfectly. I don't sit here and I don't practice for any of this. I just sit down and do it. I'm like, okay, well, Mercury's crossing the sun. I really want to do it now while that's happening. I don't know what's going to come up. And I've got two big projects I've got to work, one foot in front of the other, right? This is what we talked about yesterday, right? So one foot in front of the other. That's our keep going card. And perfectionism, it doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect gets in the way. Who is it that says perfect gets in the way of the perfectly acceptable or something like that? God, that has come up. This has been a huge theme. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to get started. That's part of the thinking process that puts us in this Eight of Swords energy. Very carry. Yeah, this has been like one that's been. Ooh, you know what? This message started coming through on Saturday for me about the perfectionism. That came up when I was listening to a electional astrology class with Nadia Shah, who's awesome, by the way. You should totally tune into her as well. So I think that's the reading, guys. So Lila, are you still on? If you are, I'm going to pull a card for you. Anybody who's still on YouTube, speak up. Abby J, I think you're not on, but I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you. Anywho, and the bottom of the deck was, oh, by the way, the Ace of Swords and the Fool and the Death card. So apropos. And the High Priestess. So, you know, this is very apropos. Ace of Swords, Fool card. You know, these are messages from the divine coming in. See, the sword is pointing down. This is like ideas, like awesome stuff, like coming in, the sun burning through Mercury. Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Jose. Wow, that's your name. And the Death card. So again, things need to die, and we've got to let things go in order to accept that cup and be the Fool, to be in this new beginning, to embark forward with fantastic ideas. This is all bottom of the deck stuff. Sophia, so funny. All right, so Lila, I am going to pull a card. Hi, Puzzle of Life. Oh, okay. Puzzle life. Awesome. Lila, I'm going to pull a card for you. You were on first, so we will definitely pull a card for you. I don't know if you have a particular question. I don't know if you have a particular question, but I will definitely pull a card for you here. What is a card for Lila from, we'll do the Gilded Tarot deck. No, we're not. We're not going to do the Gilded Tarot deck. Archangel Gabriel would like to speak to you. What is the card for Lila? What is the message, Gabriel, for Lila? What is the, okay. Authenticity. Trust that your real self, whom God created divinely perfect, has the strength and knowledge needed for this situation. I'm not sure what that means for you, Lila, but it basically says be your authentic self in all situations. And if this resonates with anybody else, maybe that is also something for you as well. And this is true. And that goes with perfectionism. Like, we don't have to be perfect. We just need to be ourselves. Will I achieve success there? If you're yourself, what's the success that you're looking for? Be honest about that. Be honest about everything you're needing from the situation as well as who you are in the situation. Show up only as you and nobody else. Don't need to borrow anybody else's ideas. You don't need to think that you don't have the right ideas. You've got it. Okay, so that's for Lila. Wow, let me pull up a card for you. You had asked about Keating Estates this week. What do you see toward my professional career? So Archangel Gabriel, that's not the card deck I want to use for you. I want to go back to the Gilded Tarot. Go back to the Gilded Tarot for wow. What is this professional career? Professional career. Card for professional career for wow. Card for professional career. Wow. The Tower. And that might not be the best job for you. Might not be the best job for you. Either that or, there's a tremendous amount of electricity. This could be the start, maybe something needs to break away in order for you to fully invest yourself in the job. I don't know. This is not, yes. I see what you're writing. Yeah, I don't know. And then this, you asked me about real estate. This thing's getting busted up. I don't know if that's such a, either that or, I also see this man balancing on the bricks. He's doing some serious tricks. So I don't know. This may not be the best job for you. And I would think about why it is that you want that job with Keating Estates. Why you want to move into real estate. I'm not really sure. Is there another card that will clarify the Tower for wow? Is there something why is the Tower here on this question for him? I see a lot of storm clouds in that particular image. Tremendous amount of fireworks, though. It just could be an explosive situation. Maybe that particular, it maybe not just real estate, but Keating itself is not. It's just going to wind up being a lot. But I also see the Wheel of Fortune just came out. So you've got the Tower, which is a 16, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so actually 26. I don't even know. I wasn't even paying attention. 2 and 6 is 8. 8 is power. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that is apropos for you. 8 is a power number. 8 is infinity. Ultimately, you have the power, and there's so much. I keep being drawn to the fact that there's a lot of like electricity in this particular image, which generally is the case, but that was what was very, very drawing to me. So I don't know, maybe this is like, boom, like the thing for you, Wheel of Fortune and 26 and the infinite power. That could be a place where you really not only can do well, but you're going to actually derive and be a place where you can really flex. Like that's another thing I was noticing is how strong that guy is. Like he's super strong. So maybe you can really flex in this situation. That's kind of the read. I'm like, I don't know that the Tower is saying absolutely no, but I think it would be good if you like looked into it a little bit. Wow, are you still on? I hope you are, and I hope you heard that. So that was really important. Puzzle of life. Are you still on? If you are, I'm going to pull a card for you. What's positive you see happening for me this week? I'm patiently waiting on your acceptance letter. Okay, good. Thanks. Wow, I hope you're still on as well, because that was really important. Because I hope that was really important. Anyway, I'll try to get a message to you outside of that. All right. So anyway, so the puzzle of life. Let me move on to you. What's positive you see happening for me? That you're waiting on an acceptance letter. I don't know what your acceptance letter is for. So let's just see. Since we're waiting on a letter, and I'm feeling, go back to the Gabriel cards for you. Go back to the Gabriel cards for you. What's for puzzle of life? An acceptance letter. What is a message for puzzle of life? On the waiting for an acceptance letter. This is so much fun. Woo. Two of them came out actually. Ask for what you, oh no, that was perfectionism from before. Well, I don't know, but there it is, perfectionism. Ask for what you want. Communication with yourself, with God, and with others helps you avoid misunderstandings and speeds up the process of answered prayers. So asking for what you want. I'm assuming this is something that you really, really do want. But the perfectionism card kind of leapt out back into my hands for this. So if you're waiting on an acceptance letter, I'm assuming it would be for some kind of school or whatever. That's generally the case. But I shouldn't assume. Actually. Be willing to accept if the letter may not be. Ask for what you want. Stay true to what you actually do want. Be honest about that. Clear communication. Because if you're not going to get quite the acceptance that you want, or even if that school or whatever situation isn't really the best fit, recognize that and recognize where you're making compromises to fit into a system that a system that expects you to be perfect in order to make your way through it. And if that's worth your time, if that's worth it to you, if that actually is a reflection of your self-worth, ask for what you want. Make sure it fits your bill. That makes sense? College, puzzle of life. Make sure that college actually is the right fit. Don't go to something that actually isn't, it's somebody else's dream and not yours. That makes sense? All right, gender bender, because it's Archangel Gabriel. Let's pull a card for you. You're so tapped in, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to pull a card for you anyway, and I'm honored to do so. You know I love you. And we're definitely going to hook up, okay? We're definitely going to hook up because I'm excited you're back here on the East Coast. I've actually been wishing for that for some time. I don't know why, in the back of my head. All right. Oh, two cards came out. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. Don't compromise or water down your ideas. Listen to, trust, and follow your inner voice. And you attract more blessings when you appreciate your current blessings. Gratitude. Yes. I'll get Angel certified so she can travel by bus. Oh my God. Yes. Say hey. Oh, yeah. You are wonderful. You are absolutely wonderful. I am grateful for you. And I think you're just freaking amazing. And it's because of you that I'm even here. Puzzle of life, you're welcome. It's the right fit for my master program. All right. Well, if it's the right fit for everything and it's meeting what you need, puzzle of life, then then move toward it. But, make sure that it's meeting your criteria, it's not a situation where you're meeting its criteria. Okay. And keep going forward for what you want. Make sure that it's what you want. So no more impatience of all. It is divine timing. Absolutely. It is divine timing. It is divine timing. So gratitude and stay true to yourself. I know it's, oh my God, right? Oh, yes. All right, guys. So I got to cruise because I need to work on a paper that was due yesterday. So I'm going to work on that. And I actually, I jumped off a big old ledge myself yesterday in order to do this with you. And in order to do some of the things that I want to fit my bill, to fit my criteria of what I want my life to be. So I love you guys all. Totally committed. Yep, totally committed. Totally all in, and one step at a time. But sometimes we have to clear things out in order to make that step. Clear things out. All right, guys, I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And I will get in touch with Wow so I can speak to him directly. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Lots of love. Bye. I get your paper on. Rub those beautiful kitties for me. I know we have 4 kitty cats now. I am so glad. I am so glad. You and I have met, like I said, for quite some time ago, but we're here and we're both on the East Coast again. So we're going to work that out. Okay. You're up in Pittsburgh, right? I think so. I think so. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.